The danger of a lie isn't in being told, it's in being believed without question. Have you ever believed something false, only to feel the sting of shame when you realized you'd been deceived? That's the invisible trap, not just stealing your trust, but turning you into an accomplice of a machine that profits from your distraction. Every fake news story doesn't just cost clarity. It charges hidden fees, stolen minutes, wasted energy, damaged reputation, rushed financial decisions. It's the bill no headline ever prints, but you pay it every single day. And the most uncomfortable truth? It's not only the algorithm that manipulates you. It's your own rush to believe. The automatic click, the impulsive share, the illusion of being well-informed, when in reality, you've been trained to be nothing more than a repeater. But there is a crack in the system. A small gesture, almost ridiculous, capable of flipping the game. It's not about fighting the algorithm. It's something far more intimate and far more dangerous. Slowing down inside yourself. What if I told you this rush to believe wasn't born with you, but was taught, drilled into you since childhood, through every rule, every voice of authority? You weren't born believing lies. You were trained to. Since childhood, school, family, religion, and the media repeated a silent rule. Say something enough times, and it starts to sound true. It's not stupidity, it's conditioning. The brain learns that familiarity equals safety. And without realizing it, you start to confuse "I've seen this before" with "this must be real." That's why absurd headlines go viral. The claim that vaccines turned people into alligators. Fake reports of celebrities dying only to resurrect the next day. They don't need to convince you. They just need to reappear again and again until doubt dissolves. A lie doesn't need to win by argument. It wins by repetition. And while you smirk at the nonsense, the system is already cashing in. Every impulsive click generates profit for the platforms, but robs you of something you never get back: time and energy. An hour that could fuel your projects, studies, or business evaporates in your feed. A sale never happens. An idea never sparks. A real conversation gets swallowed by the void. You're not the consumer, you're the product. But the most unsettling question is this: if it's not stupidity, then what part of you is being exploited to believe and repeat? You don't share a lie only because you were tricked. Often, you share because you're afraid of being left out. The ego whispers, "If I'm the first to post, I look informed." The shadow hisses, "If I don't share, I'll lose belonging." And so, without noticing, you sign a hidden contract, trading reputation and clarity for crumbs of social approval. That contract has a cost, and it's not small. An hour wasted each day on fake news equals 20 hours per month. Multiply that by the value of your hour: $20, $50, $100. That's the money burned just to keep a lie alive. And there's an even more devastating cost: reputation. A deal that falls through because you shared something ridiculous. A client who loses trust. An opportunity that vanishes. A lie doesn't need to drain your bank account. It just needs to corrode your credibility. The problem isn't just cognitive, it's emotional. You're manipulated not because you're dumb, but because you fear rejection. And that fear turns you into a hostage of a machine that profits only while you self-sabotage. But what if I told you the system has found an even crueler way to turn your shadow into profit, and you might have already paid for it this week? Type in the comments, in one word, what your shadow is today. Anxiety, comparison, exhaustion, burnout. Naming it is the first step to disarming it. You believe you're choosing what you share, but the truth is, the machine has already chosen for you. Every piece of fake news isn't random, it's bait, a calculated provocation to ignite anger, outrage, or the illusion of belonging. You feel free because you can voice your opinion, but in reality, you're just another prisoner inside the invisible cell of your feed. A golden prison where the bars are likes and the chains are comments. This cycle has a cost. The outrage exploding on your screen doesn't vanish, it burns inside you. And to numb that fire, you buy. You buy food on impulse, clothes you don't need, courses you'll never finish. Each purchase numbs the void for a few hours, and then you return to the infinite scroll, hungry for the next spark. The cost isn't just on your credit card. It's in the personal project that never leaves the page, in the creative energy drained, in the pile of debt you call deserved rewards. The algorithm doesn't just drain attention, it vampirizes your productivity. It robs your capacity to build.
But what if I told you the worst part isn't the golden prison? It's the invisible contract you signed, without reading, and that's being renewed right now, this very moment. You don't defeat manipulation by fighting it. You defeat it by creating a space it cannot enter. That space lasts only 10 seconds, but in it lies the difference between being manipulated or being free. Next time you receive a suspicious headline, don't react. Don't like, don't comment, don't share. Just count to 10 in silence. 10 seconds. It seems like nothing, but it's enough for your brain to leave autopilot and re-enter analytical mode. Research has shown focusing on accuracy reduces the intent to share falsehoods by up to 10%. 10 seconds may sound like nothing until you multiply it by millions of people. What was once a pause becomes a wall. And financially, 10 seconds can save your reputation, prevent an impulsive purchase, avoid a wrong investment decision. 10 seconds that save you from losing clients, opportunities, credibility. Turn this technique into a mantra. 10 seconds save a life, yours. Repeat it until it becomes habit. It's not self-control, it's liberation. Take any suspicious headline on your phone right now. Before reacting, count softly. 1, 2, all the way to 10. Feel the difference. That's the rehearsal of your new mind. But what if I told you the pause alone isn't enough? Because while you breathe, the system is already preparing the next attack, and only a final pact can shield your freedom. Manipulation doesn't live in the lie itself. It lives in your rush to believe. It's in that short gap between seeing and reacting that you surrender your freedom. When you share without thinking, you become a cog. When you pause, you become a wall. Every fake news story you refuse to spread preserves time, energy, money. It protects your reputation. It protects your relationships. It protects your business. And you're not alone. Each pause is a crack in the system. And when thousands pause together, an invisible army of clarity is born. A silent legion that slows down the poison and makes space for truth. This pact is simple but powerful. Don't rush. Pause. Resist. Write in the comments now, I pause 10 seconds before sharing. This isn't just a comment, it's a public vow. It's your signature on the alliance against manipulation. A lie only rules while you run. The pause is your rebellion. If this pause freed you today, imagine what will happen when you learn to break other invisible contracts. Here, every video is more than information, it's training in lucidity. Subscribe, share with someone who needs to wake up, and return for the next episode, because the battle against manipulation doesn't end in a pause. It begins there.